Okay, so now that we know what a metabolism is, what calories are and what macronutrients are, let me explain why sometimes we need to not diet and to rebuild our base in order to get the outcome that we're after. So a typical situation or scenario that I see is super low calorie diets over time, and women are ever prevalent with these, and oftentimes they are used and abused. So I've got nothing wrong with dropping calories low, 1100, 1200 for a short time to elicit a response, get a result, get what we need. It's what we do afterwards that counts. So let me show you. Let's imagine we've been on a diet, we've been doing like 1100, 1200 calories for quite a while. And we the weight loss has stopped, we're not seeing the results. And inevitably what happens is we go, fuck this isn't working. You feel tired, you're hungry, you miss your treats. And so you go back to doing what you used to do. So you bring your calories up to normal. What happens is metabolically, we're still running with our slow furnace, our low speed train. It can't keep up, and we pile the weight on very, very easily. But what's actually happening is metabolism is starting to rev up. So if you kept eating like this for maybe a month or two, it would eventually get to the top, and then you would stabilize at your new weight. You might have put on 10 kilos, but now you're stable, you're not putting on any more weight. Because metabolism, as we know, is adaptive to what we do. So we give it more fuel, it will start to burn faster. Then what happens is you go, whoa, I'm getting fat, I need to go back to my diet. You drop your food back down, you get super strict, you promise yourself this is going to be the time. We start to lose a little bit of weight, not as good as the first time, and then sure enough it plateaus again and flatlines. So what we do, we get frustrated, we give up, and we go back to what we used to do. Once again, we stack on the pounds. Maybe this time we lost 5, we put on 7 or 8. We're actually heavier than when we started back here. So what we want to do, if you know this is you and you've spent a bit of time doing the wrong things and not fueling your body, we need to do the opposite, right? So we know that if we're eating 11, 1200, if we're eating a calorie controlled diet and we're not losing weight, if it's not health issues, then it is metabolic. So what we do, start to bring up the food intake, not too fast, might be 200-300 calories a week. The shortest or the best period of time that we like to do it in ideally is 3 weeks to get from where we are to a maintenance level. So that means we might add 300 calories a week, 1100, 14, 17, 2000, okay? While training properly, of course. If we're not training, it's going to be a lot slower. But what we want to do is bring calories up in a controlled manner rather than going from 0 to 100. When this happens, what we normally get is maybe a kilo of weight gain if we're lucky, and if not, the weight actually starts to drop off even further, and we start to see everything come back to life, metabolism lifts, and this way we can increase our calories over time without getting the excessive amounts of body fat gain that come with increasing calories too rapidly. Once we're here, we can sit nicely at a good weight, and then when we're ready to go again, we can start to diet down and drop calories to get the next 5 or 10 kilos off before we inevitably hit that brick wall, that plateau. So we drop it down and then rebuild it rather than ridiculously increasing it. So hopefully that makes sense as to why we might want to or might need to rebuild our base metabolic rate back to sufficient.